the gold backed that we have. See, we had gold back up till 71, and then he took it away. Now, why would he do that? Well, interest, usury. As you are aware, the Federal Reserve is not federal at all. It's a corporate body that charges interest. Us, the United States, has charged interest year after for 120 years. As the value, as I've stated, has just plummeted. So, what does that mean? Well, as I've stated, along with it being the end times, signs are everywhere. I shared that it took us 200 years, 73,000 days, 200 years. The United States, 50 states. Imagine it personally. 2 trillion in debt. 1999, gold was $299 an ounce. Silver was $3. It was only 20 years ago. 200 years to get to 2 trillion in debt, and we have to pay on that debt. We have to pay on that debt as we do private citizens. And as interest rates increase, well, our debt load increases. And that's why we're in a conundrum. We're in a catch-22, catchatory 22. We are. Oh, we are. So 200 years, 2 trillion, and then about 22 years, 31 trillion. Just that staggering number ought to be a wake-up call. Ding, 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 ding. What's going on? You mean 200 years we were prudent enough only to get to 2 trillion, and in 20 years we were so reckless? The government, our government, for the people, by the people, yeah. That the government allowed itself to spend 30 now. So it reached a crescendo in 2008 when was it? Which big, huge financial? Shearson Lehman Brothers. I think it was Lehman Brothers. They just imploded, and it brought the economy down. I shared with you. I'll never forget it. September 17th, 2008. Sitting at my desk in Virginia, studying geopolitical, global economics, barter, global economics, history, all of it. And we hit a wall in 2008. But what are we going to do? We're going to start breaking laws. The government isn't supposed to enter at the private capitalistics, but they saved GM, and they kicked all the common preferred shareholders. They ripped them off. So all we've done is break the law. The FDA, break the law. 3 months instead of 10 years, break the law. Government involved in private sector, breaking the law. Breaking the law. That's all we do. We, not us, but our government. And so 2008, we hit a wall. The discount window is what it's called, where money is lent by the Treasury. The discount window, money is lent. Big players know about the discount window. Not the little players like us. Well, I know about it because of barter and meeting a highfalutin guy in Reagan National. So the discount window called the senators on September 17th and said, dude, we got a massive sucking sound. $500 billion was drained, I think, in like an hour. You can verify all this. And they ran across the street and they shut it down. Stop! We're hemorrhaging. It's a fatal wound, man. And it was a fatal wound, 2008. But that was 14 years ago, right? But it wasn't fatal when you got a computer and you can just ones and zeros. We had the biggest players come to the table. You remember sitting around. Hank Paulson was the Treasury Secretary. Of course, J.P. Morgan, all Bank of America, all the big wigs, TARP, ZERP, all these stupid names, pushing on a string is what it's called. Let's keep pushing and pushing and pushing. That's what they did. Interest rates, nothing. They had to bring them to nothing to keep the economy juiced. And here we are today. As interest rates go up, it becomes, well, obvious that there's going to be more defaults because money is costing people more. You know? Yeah, you know. And what happens is when you just print money, just like the barter industry, you just keep printing money. You get what we got now, hyperinflation. It's going to get worse. I hate to say that, doom and gloom. It's going to get worse. It has to. It's the law of the dismal science of economics. You can't just print. You end up like Weimar Germany, where the money's worthless. Our fiat currency is based on nothing but debt. And debt that's much more expensive now. What are they going to do? They're doing everything. But now they got the BRIC nations all lined up that have watched us for 50 years. Americans, gluttonous, proud, egotistical. Oh, we're the greatest. We go destroy you. Get in line, brother. That's all changed now. China's the biggest ringleader. Nanotechnology and other things. They have lent us money. They've carried our debt for years. So they've exported all that we buy and, use made in China. We do nothing. We make nothing but debt and service industry. Can I not help you? Hang on for 30 minutes while I check your... No. Wait for 30 minutes while you wait to inquire about your password or something else. So they pushed on a string, inflation. A lot of well-studied people are scratch their head wondering how it lasted so long. So you got it's a catch-22 for the Fed, who monitors and manages the rates. And they've been so low back in the 70s, they were 20%. How the hell did we survive? Well, we were manufacturing stuff back then. Lots more stuff we were manufacturing. We ain't doing shit now. We're losers. Bloated with a military industrial complex or a deep state, CIA. Mm-hmm. And here we are. So you got hyperinflation. So you've got everything that costs, even though oil, supply and demand is a wonderful thing. Oil just tanked. How did that happen? I thought we were supposed to be out of diesel fuel. It's weird. But the Fed has to raise rates to slow inflation down. But if they raise rates, it costs more for the U.S. to pay its debt and other people. So they're in a corner. They can't get out. And then you got everybody. Look, there were 12 nations that said, we want to get in. Saudi Arabia is the worst. That's where that beautiful sweet crude comes from and has for many decades. And they said to Biden, screw you, 2 million barrels a day, shut off. And we want to join you, Brazil, Russia, India, China. You're doing stuff. You're not arrogant like the U.S. You're not debt-ridden like the U.S. And you actually manufacture stuff. Let's all get along. And then we went to war and we cut off Russia over Ukraine. That was smart. We actually told Russia, you're not in the SWIFT system anymore. I mean, that is some power. The SWIFT system is where all the, exchange in the U.S. dollar goes on. All the wiring. SWIFT stands for something, I forget. But this isn't just cheap talk. This is years and decades and decades and decades of studying, man, and being intimately involved with banks and barter and credit companies and, all that stuff. I hope this makes sense. Yeah. Hyperinflation, excessive debt, and they're just more and more student debt. We got you. Oldies, we got you. We got you covered. No, you don't. No, you don't.